how you get the motivation to go through such a hard course or any study material or anything which you're learning, right? So a right set of motivation is always required to go through hard material of a course or anything. I remember my initial days of data science machine learning course when I was taking. So when I started it, I really had a good motivation. The motivation was that I saw one of the applications of machine learning initially back then in 2017. And one of the application was that I saw a remote controlled helicopter, small toy helicopter, running like opposite. Like the wings were down there and still it was able to drive. So this was one of the self-driving kind of thing which I saw for the first time on the, I think, Stanford course, somewhere in Stanford course. So that really amazed me, and that was the end goal when I was going through machine learning course. And while doing it, I was always thinking how this thing will happen. So whatever the maths I was learning just for that, it was just like a hard pill which you have to swallow after the desert is waiting for you, right? The veggies which we don't like, and there is a desert in the end. But while going through veggies, I was always fantasizing about the desert, and that is the one way to go through stuff that you don't want to digest, right? So this is how motivation actually pulls you toward closer to your goal, because you gets this thought of your desert which is coming, and you get really a kind of like, what do you say, mind orgasm kind of thing in the end when you truly understand what is happening. And while doing it, I got stuck at back preparation, which was the beauty of that course. Then there has a mini desert between that, and that desert was back preparation. So same way, I always has. So whenever you're starting a hard course or you're taking a course or anything, just remember what is the end goal which you're doing. And if your end goal is to make money or to have something, that might not be a good reward to start with. That will not give you a lot of enthusiasm while working through the hard stuff, the math, the prerequisites. So you have to take care of. Similarly, I remember back then in my high school when I was taking my science classes, as a kid, I used to play with this tiny toy motors and everything, and the cells and battery. That always has to fascinate me, how those things work, how the wiring happens, how the motors spin, how this is. It feels like magic to me. And when I actually was in high school, all the physics class which I was studying, I was always linking how it is related to electricity, how it is related to the spinning of. When I was studying magnetism, I was thinking there are magnets in the motor, how it is affecting the spin and everything. So it all made me very curious. So all the science which I was studying, I always try to find that answer within those sciences, how it is helping. And I think in the 10th standard or 11th, when I actually learned how this motor thing worked, it gave me a lot of joy. And at the same time, I understood basic math, basic physics of all the things, magnetism, current, and batteries, potential difference, these all things. So I always had a good goal. And when the India hand happened, and that was, I think, the difference between other student and me, that I was not studying for exam. I was just studying for my curiosity to be solved. And when that happened, I felt good, and it gave me purpose to study. I was never hindered, or I was never felt bored or something, right? As you know, there is a desert in the end. So similarly, when you are studying when I was doing quantum, I had a very good intuition that I want to understand this beautiful math, everything which was similar to back propagation, how it helped. And there's so much futuristic applications for quantum that I haven't achieved, but that is a goal that I have to achieve in that. So I think you can also plan your courses or material like this, where you could have a very good application based goal, which you can imagine, and that will help you to go through the hard time. So see you in the next video.